Better Daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Thursday. It's Word Thursday, my favorite day of the week in this shortcast, because I share with you some meditations on a word that I hope will be impactful to you. And today's word is the word wait. Weight. And I spell that because there's a bunch of different ways you can take the word wait. The version most people think of, W-A-I-T, is my 3-year-old's least favorite word. That means to have patience and to wait, to stop and anticipate things that you appreciate but aren't going to happen in the present. But that's not what we're talking about today. We are talking about the word weight, as in the heaviness of an object, or in physics, the force exerted by gravity and acceleration, or acceleration due to gravity. So that's fun. But there's a lot more to it than just weight. In fact, we had a really great seminar 2 days ago here in Better Daily. And if you missed it, I highly encourage you to check out the replay. I'll put the link below. We do the seminars live, so if you can make it live, that's awesome. We have a freemium membership here in the app, and that's available to you. But if you can't make it live, we do have a cache or a directory of all of the seminars that we've done. We've done strength training, and we've done sleep, and we've done trauma and healing, and we did weight loss on Tuesday. And those replays are available to our premium members. I'll drop that link below, but it was a really, really good seminar. We had a record number of people show up and appreciate the seminar. Some people were live in the Zoom and had some questions they wanted to follow up with after. Some people just opened the app and watched. I've had a couple people reach out since watching the replay. So it was a really good seminar, and one of the things that we spent time doing was defining weight and understanding what factors are involved in weight loss. Well, today's Word Thursday isn't just about weight loss, but I want you to understand that the connotation of this word is, well, pretty negative for most people. Most people think of the word weight in a negative sense because they think of the weight on the scale. But the word weight, the etymology goes really far back, actually. It's the idea being that certain objects are heavier than others. And not just objects, not just physical objects, not just like a rock you have to lift or a beam of wood that you're trying to get to go across the trusses of your house, or there's this really funny story. I don't know why it comes to mind, but here it is. So in Russia, the idea was to become a strongman, you had to raise a cow. And one of the cool ways to become stronger and stronger was every day you had to pick up this cow. Since it's a baby calf, you pick up this cow and you walk it across your property. And every day, obviously, the calf would get bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, you wouldn't notice the incremental increase in the weight of the calf. And so, you start out carrying 80 pounds across the yard. No big deal. I mean, that's kind of heavy, but 80 pounds it's not like 800. And as the calf grew, you'd pick it up and move it across the yard again. And in this way, the weight of the calf would increase, but your perception of the difficulty of carrying it would not increase. And I'm sure you'd eventually reach your mortal limit. But anyway, that was a myth among Russian strongmen, and these guys are no joke, man. They're the kind of people who could pull a semi with their teeth and take an Atlas stone. You ever seen those things? They're huge, this enormous stone, and they'd throw it up on their shoulder and set it on pedestals. I used to like to watch those strongman competitions when I was a kid, because these feats of strength were just impressive, and these men were like mountains. And so that's it's a fun way to think about weight, right? Because we think of it in a negative connotation many times in our world today. I weigh too much and I want to lose weight, or things are heavy on me. There's a mental component to that too. That's why we say that. Have you ever been in a heavy situation? You're there. You can feel the heaviness in a room. You can feel the weight of the room when people are grieving, for instance, or when there's an argument that's just been had and, it's kind of tense, it's difficult, and you can bear up under the weight of that too. I've talked before about the weight of carrying our cross, our past traumas, and maybe the reality of what it means to be you, to get up every day, to pick that up and to walk forth rightly. And then we have weight training. This group of words actually goes all the way back to the 16th and 17th century, which is kind of cool to me because I tend to think of weight training as a more modern day thing. People weren't lifting weights 10,000 years ago, at least not on purpose. They're like, I have this heavy thing to carry, I gotta carry it. Now we're like, I don't have any heavy things to carry in my day, so I'm going to go somewhere where I carry heavy things on purpose so that I don't lose the ability to carry heavy things. And weight training is a really interesting part of this word too, because this is one of the things, well, I guess some people have a negative connotation with it, but this is one of the things that could be deeply positive. And the idea being that I, as a human being, am going to voluntarily approach something difficult, and I'm going to go through the motions of lifting that thing. I'm going to pit myself against the heaviness of an object, and I'm going to pick it up. And why do I do that? Well, because every time I do that, I get a little stronger. I become a little more capable of carrying heavy things. And I've spoken in the past, and I did in our strength workshop, that physical act also translates to the mind and the spirit, meaning I've heard this with clients before. It's very interesting. If I did my deadlifts today, if I did my shoulder press today, if I did my lat pull downs today, whatever weight training exercise you did today, squats, if I did those today, then other things in my life don't feel as heavy, right? You could say like, I did a hard workout, so everything else today feels lighter. What else in my day is that difficult? What else in my day makes me sweat and breathe hard? What else in my day makes me regularly feel like I'm going to fail? But I keep working through that. And then when I go through the rest of my day, there are things that maybe mentally and spiritually are taxing to me. They feel heavy. But I already have the pattern of, this is a heavy thing. I'm going to lift it. It's going to be difficult, but I'll be fine. And I can do that in a physical way that translates to my mental and spiritual practices. So if I have a heavy conversation that I need to be a part of, if there's a lot of weight within a relationship, I can approach it and I can deal with it. And it's not going to crush me. I'm not going to be crushed under the weight of the difficult things in my life. And I love that about weight training because, well, life is heavy. Life carries a lot of weight with it. And you can't escape that. There's pain and there's suffering and there's difficulty and there's conflict and there's unexpected grief. There's a lot of things that you can't get away from. Life weighs a lot. However, most people that I've ever encountered in my life, most people are made of sterner stuff than they know. And it's amazing to watch somebody come to the realization that they can carry the weight of their life. And not only can they carry the weight of their life, maybe to find some joy doing it. It's so cool to see that happen. I think that's what, in some ways, 16 years ago, I think that's something that I found so meaningful in training that I couldn't get enough of it. I loved doing it. I loved seeing that if somebody would just approach the weight in front of them, lift it with good form, and do it with, well, maybe not confidence, but a bit of stubbornness and humility, then when they set the weight down, they weren't the same after as they were before. They weren't the same in their mind. They weren't the same in their body. And people love that feeling. Maybe not the weight training itself. Here on Word Thursday, going through the word weight, some people are going to be like, Alex, you have a very strange relationship with weightlifting. Hey, fair enough. But every person that I've ever worked with who has stuck with it for even 3 months and regularly approached the heavy things in the gym and then the heavy things in their life, they always get stronger. Always. Without fail. No matter who you are, what autoimmune disorder you're wrestling with, what your hormonal regulation looks like, even if you're sleeping like garbage on a regular basis, when you approach the weight of your life forthrightly, you learn that you are strong enough to carry the weight. Now, notice I didn't say that you're strong enough to carry the weight alone. There's a place I like to pray, which is nearby our house. It's a little state park called Woolly Hollow. I had a friend of mine recently bring me a magazine from 1988, the year I was born, with an article about Woolly Hollow, and I thought that was really cool because it's a tiny little state park off a road here in Podunk, USA, and it's such a nice place. It's got a lake. It's called Lake Bennett, which is kind of fun because my youngest name is Bennett, which means blessing. And when the lake overflows, it comes down two little tributaries, two little rivers that come off the lake, and they combine and rush off. And actually, like, to pray there, there's a nice little waterfall, and it's beautiful. I have a client of mine who thinks I'm a little weird because I really like to go there when it's cold, and I like to get into the water. That's a Wim Hof thing. We can talk about cold some other time. Brown fat for the win. But I pray there a lot, and when I go there, it took me a while to notice it, honestly. It took me a while to notice it, but in the rocks there are two trees, and the trees they're probably about 40 feet tall each, and they're rooted in the rock next to the water. Okay, they don't have soil, they don't have ground. They're rooted in the rock, which is pretty crazy and difficult, but hey, they're there. And, there's all kinds of meaningful things you can pull from that, to be rooted in a firm foundation and to be near where the water runs. Makes me think of Psalms 1, "Blessed is the man who walks not on the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands with sinners or sits in the seat of the scornful. For his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on it he meditates day and night. He will be like a tree planted by the rivers of living water that brings forth good fruit in its season." These trees are like that. But it's so cool because they're there, and the water runs when it overflows. It's a powerful waterfall. There's thousands of gallons of water pouring out of this thing every couple seconds. Okay, it's a lot of water. So these trees are rooted there. The water is constantly pressing against them, and I've prayed there often something along the lines of, "Lord, let me be rooted like these trees, so that when the water comes, when the pressure comes, when the waves come, I can bear up under the weight." But I prayed there for a long time, probably off and on for 2 years. And I noticed something. I looked up, the sun was coming up. It was really pretty. And I was looking at the sunrise and stuff. And I noticed something I'd never noticed before. These trees, they went up about 40 feet. And at the top, they were connected. The branches were connected. They were leaning on each other for support. Because though they were rooted in the rock, and though they were planted by the water, and though they could bear up under the weight of their own difficulty, staying in that one spot, it chose a very strange place to grow. Maybe like you, in your life, you're rooted in a very strange place. But you're growing, so keep it up. But they went to the top, and at a certain point, they had to lean on each other. And that was crazy to me. Because when I think of the word weight, and I think of the heaviness that life can be, and I think of the way people can grow in carrying the weight of their own life well. When I think of that, there's still a tick in my brain that says, man, no man's an island, and there's some times where you need to slough off, and you need to have some time with a brother or sister who cares. Even in my life and my marriage, I would not be who I am without my wife. I lean on her. And I think that's the message for Word Thursday today. You can face the weight of your life forthrightly. You can become stronger, but you were not meant to do that alone. At a certain point in your growth, you're going to need to lean on somebody who's also doing that, who's also bearing up under the weight of their life. And the two of you together can bear up under more weight than you could alone. So, don't do this thing alone. Approach the weight of your life positively and powerfully. Get stronger and lean on somebody. Guys, this has been Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Thank you so much for joining me on Word Thursday with the word weight. I know we went down some rabbit trails, but I hope that it was meaningful to you. Until next time, guys, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for your 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.